Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Dredge, shall we? Picking up where we left off with our complete beginner's guide, and it's day 2. It's early in the morning. We have about $24 left on our ship loan repayment to go for, and let's just take a look at our ship. We have sold everything, but we did get a new rod that can catch into shallows, and we have this coastal rod as well, and a regular engine. So I'm going to undock and go out. So as I turn, notice, yep, the day is moving when I'm moving the boat, but I can just sit still, and we can push X to use our spyglass as long as we have that selected. And look, there's a coastal fish. It looks like a squid that we haven't caught right there, straight ahead. Also, any other fish that we want to aim for? There's some dredge that we can't get. There are some shallows fish way over there. And there's another coastal. So let's go see what we can do. Because it's early, I should be able to... Now wait, look at that. That squid is only available at night. And it ends being night at 6 a.m. So those squid were there, but now you'll notice that they aren't. That fishing spot is gone, and now there's some new ones. There's other coastals. There's other stuff we can get, but not that squid. So let's just go right here, and we can fish. And this is a coastal, so let's see what this is. And it's blue mackerel, and we've already got it, and we're done. So I'm going to go right over here to the right, and you can inspect this. A floating buoy. It serves to mark safe passage past dangerous rocks and obscured hazards. Its dim light also provides a brief respite in the gloom of the night. So you can use all of these permanent light fixtures to not only know where the rocks are, but to also help your sanity and your panic. Alright, let's go ahead and let's fish right here. Just pushing in on the green. And we got a Gulf flounder first time. This is a big square fish. So because of the shape of our hull, we can't exactly hold too many of these. But definitely worth fishing them up. Now we've depleted this spot, and if you look, I don't have any more space for fish. I mean, I can, try and rotate this a little bit, but I don't have enough space to make it worth it. And these fish are still fresh. So I can go right back. Now there is some fishing to do right here. We could use our glass and say, what is this? It's an eel, maybe? So that fish looks like it takes 3... It's 3 long. So I could fit in 2 of those. So I'll go get them because I can fit in 2 just to catch it for the first time. I won't deplete the spot. And we'll just go right here and we'll fish. Now, notice that this one, the minigame changes slightly, and the needle jumps to the other line. So you push 1, and it comes over here, and then you have it. There we go. A couple to work with. Now it's time to go. I'm just going to completely turn my ship around and move back this way. I'm going to turn off the light for no good reason right now, just because I don't need it during the day. And I'm going to go back and sell as much as I can. If you hit the rocks at any kind of speed, you will take damage. But if you hit the harbor, you don't take damage. It's got those tires on it, so it'll bump you off safely. Then hold A to dock, and let's go to the fishmonger. I've had a special order come through from a customer. If you can fulfill it, I'll pay you above normal prices. So we have our first kind of little, potential side quest here. And you see the green exclamation point. That indicates a side quest. And you say, tell me about it. And he says, they asked for 1 Gulf flounder and 1 gray eel. Just bring them in when you have them. Well, luckily, I actually have those. So I'm going to say, okay, you'll need to have a rod that can handle shallow water fish in order to catch those. The shipwright should be able to sort it. So you start, I think I misspoke, you actually start with the coastal, and then we bought the shallow, so we can do both. Have you got any fish for that order? So you can either say yes and give them or say no. Now I'm going to say yes. Just leave whatever you have here. I'll keep an order on ice until it's all ready to go. What that means is you can do this one by one, and it won't go bad. The fish will be saved for you. So if all you have is one, you can turn in one. But I actually have both. I'm going to select one, push in the left stick to bring it over here, rotate it, and orient it properly for the quest. And I pick up another one and put it on there. And we get 52 bucks for that quest. The fishmonger wraps up the fish and hands you some money. Good, good. They should be pleased with these. I got another order here. This one's a little more curious. They want a couple of squid and a whole black grouper. Don't see many people fishing squid these days. They only feed at night. And, well, you know what nights are like around here. Good luck. So this gives us an excuse to actually do that. Now, I'm going to sell all fish by holding down X. And we paid some of the debt back. So if I go back, you'll notice I'm $12.46 away from paying the debt. And if I go to the shipwright, I have 190 bucks. So I could actually use this to purchase something like, for example, a better engine. And I will. We're going to just push A, and we're going to buy the rusty outboard engine. And I will install it. It will take 2 hours. Hold A. But you'll see now that our boat speed is up to 34 knots. So we are much faster than we were before we can get around. And time does pass when we're moving, so this saves time during the day. And unfortunately, we don't have enough money for any of these lights. So I'm going to undock. I've got a little bit of time before it comes night. And we know that there was a fishing spot right over here. It is worth mentioning, the town that's across the way that you can see right there, straight ahead of us, they do not buy fish. So if you have fish to sell, you have to come back here to the starter town of Greater Marrow to sell them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just fish up this and keep an eye on the clock because while I'm fishing, time is passing. Now, I don't mind that time is passing, and we've depleted the stock, and it's getting later. You see, it's actually 7:41 p.m., and I'm going to use my light. I'm going to turn that on, and I'm going to go to my spyglass here and push X, and there we go. Right ahead of us, that crab, or the squid, rather, is back. So let's go catch this up, see if we can get some. And we're going to fish. Ooh, it's a trophy. When you see the yellow bar come up, that means you've gotten a trophy catch, which means like a particularly large fish of that type, and you'll get extra money for it. All right, great. Fishing, caught a few here. This is depleted. Now, if I go into pursuits, you'll see that now a new pursuit has been added, which is 2 arrow squid and 1 black grouper. So we have the squid, we just need the grouper. So if you want to be precise and, try to not stay out too late, it is safer at night when the night first begins than as the night progresses. You'll see the eye is kind of a green color. I'm going to just aim this around and see if we can find, there's squid. We need grouper. Is that a grouper? Looks good. Looks like a grouper. So I'm going to go across. Now, as the night gets longer, we're going to start getting uncomfortable here. And let's see. Where's that grouper? There it is, right in front of us. Or so I thought. Is this it? Yes. Okay, I think. There it is, black grouper. And I can actually not catch any more because of how my boat is filled. I could try to play Tetris, and squeeze these fish into a different orientation, but I don't think it'll work for me no matter what I do. Yeah, there's no way for me to quite make enough space for this. Wait, no. I could catch one more. Oh my goodness, I did it. Great. All right. All right, we got it. Now our fish were full, and it's very late. You can see the eye is red. So this is bad for the money we're going to get for the fish, but it's good for our personal safety. You can dock here at this town, which is Little Marrow, and you can just rest here. Now, there are some other people you can talk to. There's a trader and there's a dock worker. You see in the lower left, there's a dock worker. You can actually move your cursor over and talk to the dock worker and says, how's the day treating you? And you can talk and you can get some story. What's it like working on the docks? As changeable as the weather. Ha! Most days it's pretty quiet. The pay is not too great, but the work's straightforward. That suits me to a T. It's good to get that fresh sea breeze without actually being on the water. No offense, but you wouldn't get me out in the seas every day. And then there's also a trader. Now this dude, you enter a brightly lit shop. It's packed with antiques, the shelves full of jewelry and other baubles. An old man peers at you over silver spectacles. Hello, is that? No, I don't believe we've met. Forgive me, my eyes aren't what they used to be. I specialize in antiques and jewelry. I'll purchase any special trinkets you happen to have. Have you got anything nice with you today, perhaps? So he'll only buy special trinkets and jewelry, which you can fish up at certain spots. It's marked with like a jewel ring, but we just have fish, so we can't sell him anything. But this is where you come. The icon next to the word trader, that ring with the jewel and the sparkles, that is what it will look like when you're out using your spyglass or just out on the water, if there's a spot where you can try to catch a trinket. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just rest. And I'm going to wake up early, 4:30 a.m., because there is no panic. The shops in this game typically do not close unless there's some special event. So what that means is you can sell fish or trinkets or whatever at any hour. Now, you'll notice we are faster than we used to be because of the new motors, and I'm going straight back home. I'm going to turn in these quest fish immediately. Awesome. A hunched woman approaches you from the steps to the lighthouse. She stops some distance away and looks at you with concern and visible apprehension. Why are you here? I've come to fish. There's nothing here for someone like you anymore. Do yourself a favor and move on. She turns and shuffles back along the path that leads to the light. A mysterious lady. Oh, and the mayor will talk to us with a green exclamation point. But first, let's go to the fishmonger and let's fulfill the order. So you say, yes, I've got the fish, and we're going to give him one. Don't give him the trophy fish. I don't know if it matters because you sell the fish anyway, but I always like to give him the worst fish. So we got 88.76. That's a lot of money right there. Fishing's a tall order. I'll let you know when more orders are in. For now, on to business as usual. And I'm going to sell all my fish, and we have $100 worth of fish. Have you seen that strange red light at night? It seems to be rising from the west, he says. Okay, thanks. The mayor is walking quickly towards you. He seems to be in a good mood, a spring in his step. Fantastic news. Thanks partly to your efforts, Greater Marrow is growing. Our town is sure to be swarming with visitors any day now. In fact, I've granted a consent for the shipwright to expand her facilities. The old dry dock is operational again. I've also allocated some money to improve the fishmonger's services. He might have something to talk to you about soon. Keep up the good work. We're glad you've chosen to be here with us. I guess I did choose it. I came seeking the job. So now the dry dock is open. So we can go here, and the shipwright says, this is the dry dock. We can make significant improvements to your vessel here. We're talking extra space, more attachments, points for equipment, and even superior hulls. We'll need a decent stock of hard materials for these projects, lumber, metal scraps, that sort of thing. And we can't get those right now, so I say, how do I get these? There's plenty of decent materials around the coast from various shipwrecks and the like. I'm sure you'll find a way to get them. Materials assigned towards upgrades here will be stored, so don't worry if you only have half of what we need. So, for example, this is the tech tree, and it moves from left to right, and if you get all 4 of these first upgrades, you can then go here and get a new hull. Then you get these 3, and you can get a new hull. Then 5, and then a new hull, and then so on. You can't move on to the new hull until all of these are done. And these are all great. Some of them are better than others. I like, engine space. Holding rods is great. And more lights. All of this stuff is good. So, no reason to select any of this right now. It'll cost you, like, for example, for this +1 light space, so we can hold one more light. Or a larger light. Costs $50. And it's 2 lumber and a bolt. But we have to find those parts to get it, and we need to be able to dredge to do that, which we can't do just yet. Let's talk to the mayor. He's got something important. Just the person I was hoping to see. Will you be sailing out east towards Little Merrow? Would you give this package to the dock worker, please? Okay, so I will select it, push right stick, and put it on my boat. The mayor hands you a small, damp package bound in string. It's dripping slightly. The dock worker will pay you upon delivery. Please be quick about it. I don't want it to spoil. Don't forget to check your compass and map if you get lost. So this is really just a quest to kick you out and get you over to the next town, which I'm going to do this immediately. We can catch some fish, but, these mackerel aren't particularly good, and that spot depletes really easily. We now have more money, and really all we can buy at this point would be a light. But that's not a bad thing. Oop. We can catch some... Yeah, these are valuable enough. Oh, but there's nothing left. Wow. We've really fished this place to the bone. But money is always good to have. And I don't think there's... Let's see if we can make space here. Oh, yeah, we can. Just enough for one more. Alright, let's get over here before it goes bad. Don't want to make the mayor look bad. He's such a nice guy. Alright. What? A delivery. Let me see here. He tears a small hole into the paper and peeks inside. You can't say for sure, but it feels as though he's shielding it from your view. Yeah, nice and fresh. This'll do nicely. I'll pay you, I suppose. He hands you some money, $25. I was given this old book a few weeks back, but it didn't make much sense to me. You'll surely get more use out of it. He pulls a crumpled book from his back pocket and hands it to you. A number of pages are folded over. Keep it in your cabin. Perhaps you can read it while you're on the water. Stop by for a chat anytime. I know how lonely it can be. And indeed, so we got our first book. You will get many of these throughout the game. You push Y to open up your ship. You push right bumper to go to your cabin. And then down below all of these choices, pursuits, message, map, encyclopedia, there's a bookshelf. And all you have to do is select it. And you'll start reading it. And you will just read this automatically while you're traveling. And it's called sustainable fishing. So you get passive perks from these books that will just make your life easier, make you better at fishing. All right. And it's time. So we're going to go right here to the fishmonger. And been meaning to talk to you about a new business venture I've been considering. Crab pots. I got one here for you. In fact, it's a bit banged up, but you could get it fixed at the shipwright. So he wants to give this to me, and I'll take it. And we can fit it right here. Should be pretty straightforward. Just drop it out at sea anywhere, then come back after a day or two to check on it. I got a customer after a fiddler crab and a common crab. Both species can be found around here. Alright, so I'm going to sell all my fish, make a bunch of money, and I'm going to buy another crab pot. These are expensive. Your feelings may vary about crab pots. I'm going to go out, and I'm going to go over to the shipwright. Looks like some of your equipment could use some fixing. We can repair that here. So this is the first time we've had damage, and it's this crab pot. The crab pots last for a certain amount of time based on which crab pot you have. You can level these up, get better ones. These last for 2 days, and over time they will just break and need fixing. So if I hold Y for $7.50, she'll fix it. Oh, these actually last for 3 days. My fault. And each day they can catch 1 to 2 crabs. They have a capacity. So now we have 2. We'll drop these out. But before I do anything else, I'm going to go over here, and we have this shallow rod and we have this rod. We could buy this rod right here, which is way faster than our current rod, but it's just more expensive, so I'm not like over the moon about it. I am going to buy a light though, and you can buy this light, which is 500 lumens, or the cloudy lens, which is 750 lumens. It's a little bit brighter, so I have the money, so I'm going to buy it and I'm going to install it, and this will help me at night. I'm going to leave, and I'm going to leave, hold, and select the crab pot with the left bumper and deploy it with X. They catch over time, but they need repairing every so often. And so if I hold the left bumper, I open the radial where my spyglass and such lives, and now one of the question marks has been turned into the crab pods right below the spyglass. And I select it, and then now when I'm steering around, I could just push X on the water, and I just throw this crab pot overboard, and I'm going to throw another one over here. It doesn't really matter where you put them. Just don't put them in a place that blocks you from getting to the dock. So I still have a clear path right to the dock. And when they've caught a crab, the light on top of them will blink. So I said your feelings on crab pots may vary. They're nice because they're passive. They just catch fish over time, so it's like free money. But you have to repair them, transfer the items, so it can be a bit tedious. So I kind of stopped using them, but if you're a person who doesn't mind and you enjoy them, you could probably make a good amount of money on them. So it's just up to your play style. I like just doing more active fishing myself, but nothing wrong with it. And we'll fish right here. Pull up this mackerel. It's depleted, so we'll go over here. And let's see, what other fish are lying around? Well, it's getting to be night. So if I go over here, I can catch some grouper, I think. Yep. There we go. So now, you'll see on the left, underneath where the fishing minigame is, if I push left trigger, I can actually use this extra space over here to kind of put things and then pick them back up so that I can rearrange the fish if I need to move more than one at a time. So that's a super useful thing to know about. But as you see here, because of my space, there's no place for me to catch any more of those fish that are a square. But I have, let me get my light. It's on, but you see how I have a brighter light. I've caught everything I'm going to catch anyway. So I'm just going to go back in. Pull up to the harbor. And I'm going to go to the fishmonger. Found this book. Could be useful to you. Cool, so he gives you a book too called Rods, Reels, and Rigs. The fishmonger reaches under the counter and hands you a damp, battered book. A few shimmering fish scales are stuck to the cover. I'm going to sell all the fish for $140 and be happy about it. Alright, tremendous. And now it's my choice of do I want to go out or do I want to stay home. It's late, but I should still be able to find some squid. If not, I will just turn around and, you know, put my tail between my legs and go back home. Any fish around here? There's some black groupers. Oh. As long as they're close. Okay, this is fine. They are close. If you can get back to town, this isn't bad. Depleted. So we could just back straight up and we can get back pretty easily. There's a sparkle over there. And if I go through the rocks, just very, very careful here, you can interact with this. And it says, the lighthouse towers above. Waves crash endlessly against the perilous rocks below. All creatures, human or otherwise, would have their brittle bodies broken and thrown at its feet. You ponder the intrinsic power of this structure, a vast column of stone, shouldering the responsibility of countless lives. How long will it stand? How long until it decays into ruin, its purpose exhausted? The lighthouse towers above. All right, so backing out here, just be very, very careful. You can spin in place for the most part, and just point yourself correct. Now look at this. This rock just popped into being. When you're out late and the eye is red, there will be rocks that appear that normally aren't there, that are only kind of like part of your imagination, but they're very real if you crash into them. So go nice and slow at night, and let's pull into the dock. Something slithers into your cargo hold. So you see that purple in the upper left? If I fish, you'll notice that our black grouper became infected, and it's worth much less money now. So this is a danger of being out at night. So I'm going to sell everything and just get rid of that garbage. And we're going to go back, and I'm going to sleep. And I'll get up right about 5. And I'm going to go quickly out, and looks like the crab pots are still empty. Indeed. So the light will be blinking when you have a catch. All right. And time for some fishing. Daytime now. Let's just do as much as we can. We're here to make money. By the way, if I open my cabin, you can only read one book at a time, but you'll see that the sustainable fishing is 65% complete. So the more I just ride around, the more that will continue. Uh-huh. Trophy. Wow, there's a lot here. Great. All right, so my hull is reasonably full, so I'll go back. Well, I could try to catch some of these guys. These are small. Great. And I do not have space after this fish to catch anymore, no matter what I did. So we got to go. And we're going to go back and sell everything we've got. Notice that both of the crab pots are blinking, which means they have some crabs. It is time to sell. Alright, so we're going to go to the fishmonger, and I'm going to sell all fish, just like that. And then now I can go back out and get these crab pots. So we need, a common crab is fine, but we also need, let's see. Yeah, we need a bigger crab. So these are now empty, and they have a few days left before they're broken, and we completed sustainable fishing. So I'm going to pull into the dock, and now we can go over to the fishmonger. Have you got any crabs? And I say, yes. Don't forget, if they get worn out, the shipwright should be able to patch them up. So we only need one of these small crabs. I'm going to set it right there, and then we'll say done. All right, come back when you have everything. Now the regular business, huh? And we'll sell this crab for like $5. You see what I mean? The crab pots don't, at least starting out, these crabs are not great. They don't make a ton of money, but it's money that you don't have to do very much for. And now we're going to push Y, and we need to go to the cabin. We've completed sustainable fishing, and this gives you a 10% chance to not reduce fishing stocks when catching a fish with a rod. So if you're using a rod, this lets you potentially stay at that spot longer. And now we're going to read the next book, Rods, Reels, and Rigs. It is day 4, middle of the afternoon, and this is a great place to stop episode 2. We have opened up the dry dock. We have fished at night. We have added a light, a new motor, and we're making a bunch of money, and we're doing beautifully. Everyone, I hope you're finding this guide series to be useful and fun, and I will check you in the next episode, and I hope that you're having fun also in Dredge. Take care.